So guys, it's David here, and it's currently day 264. Hope you guys had a good day and are doing better than yesterday. But time is currently 5:41. Feeling a bit tired yesterday because last night I had to go to the bathroom like twice in the middle of the night. So definitely wanted to sleep in. But today is Saturday. That means I won't be doing too much mental work. It is almost like a mental rest day so that I could sharpen my mind for next week. Therefore, this morning I'll be going to the gym for the last gym session of the week. So pretty excited to finish that off, and I'll come back, go shopping, get ready for the week, and perhaps spend some time with my sister, as that is what I had promised. Therefore, let's not waste my mornings and don't sleeping because there's no point to sleeping, but rather embrace the discomfort and get up because life starts better or life becomes better when you know you won over your mornings. So let's get started, and I'll see you guys soon. But before I leave, there are some topics I do want to talk about today. But before we get into that, let me go to the gym first, and I'll see you guys after my amazing workout. So, guys, it is about 9 o'clock. Just came back from the gym. Amazing session. Not only because it is the last one of the week, but lately I've just had this extra energy. And perhaps that is from drinking a little bit of coffee towards the training session, which just gave me that extra kick I needed to kind of lock into that mentality of I need to push harder. But also, what has raised my curiosity is that lately I have been increasing my weight, like my body weight, drastically. Like for the past week or the last week, I have increased my weight almost about a kilogram on average a week. And now that's pretty insane because prior to that, I was on a steady gain of 0.2 kilograms or half a pound, which is very ideal to not gain too much fat and build lean muscle. So this past week, just seeing that massive jump really has raised my curiosity, as last week I did have a plateau in my weight gain, and this week for some reason I didn't change anything, but yet I am increasing my body weight by 1 kilograms. So I have no idea why this is the case, and even that's the case though, I don't really feel like I have gained a kilogram. So very, very, very strange, but I'll see how next week goes. But apart from that, guys, today I want to talk about when it is important to use our willpower. Willpower is a lovely tool we have in our arsenal, but if you overuse it, you are going to burn out. So we gotta actually strategically plan when it is we should use willpower, because we shouldn't rely on will alone to build habits and to eliminate bad habits. Although initially we may need the willpower before we build the discipline, but we should conduce our environment to a point where we don't have to really be so conscious about doing things. We want to actually do things unconsciously. Now, this may be strange, as I have always preached that we have to be present, we have to be conscious when we do something so we can make the best choice. But sometimes using that consciousness every single day for every single moment can be very draining. And the thing is, guys, a lot of the times, even the good things we do, we don't actually are aware of it. We don't actually use our conscious brain. For example, waking up, brushing your teeth, showering, going to your job, cooking breakfast, all these things may actually implement and benefit to your life, but you don't think about them too hard. You just do them because you have been doing them for a long time. Thus, they have become automatic, an automatic habit that kind of uses more of your unconscious mind, right? Your subconscious mind. So we can have our conscious, our focus into things that is more important and require a little bit more difficulty. But most importantly, the reason why some habits, why some behaviors require us to have willpower is maybe, first of all, that they are not familiar, we are not used to them, they are difficult, or we just don't want to do them. But either way, willpower should really be used only when it's truly necessary. And for some people, where that lies in their life is different for every single individual. if you are trying to break a bad habit, you may need that willpower every single day. If you are trying to form a good habit, then you may allow willpower to control you until that becomes automatic. But there's a way to not allow this willpower to be used constantly in demand. Because if you always use your willpower, then when difficulties comes, when some urgency comes, you won't have any more willpower left to live through the day. If an emergency, if a temptation, if an urge at the end of the day hits you, but yet you are using your willpower throughout the day, then you may fall for that temptation. You may give in to that urge. And this is why I think for a while that I have relapsed on either drugs or porn addiction or whatever. Is because I simply had no willpower left, or that I had mentally drained myself until the end of the day where my urges and temptation hit me once again. And that is a time where I simply just wanted to just relax and give in, and whatever the urges, I just want to allow it to control me. So saving your willpower and using it wisely is a strategic plan to avoid the risk of you falling back into your old routine, falling back into your old slip ups. Because I don't believe anyone out there wants to be just normal or just wants to be the lowest version of himself. Everybody wants to improve, but obviously changing and going out of your comfort zone is something not a lot of us can do, simply because a lot of failures hit us and we had lost our courage. But the thing is, we only slip up, we only fall back into our old routine simply because we have mentally drained ourselves too much, for that when the difficulties comes, we have no more energy left to fight back. So to save your willpower is important, and to use it wisely is also important. So how can we save our willpower is the next question, right? How can we actually save our willpower for then when the time is needed, we have enough mental energy, we have enough mental discipline to say, no, I am not going to do this because I made a promise to myself, or no, I am not this person anymore because I said so. I have control over my mind. So how can we do this? Well, first of all, we have to save that willpower. We have to pick when it is we want to use that willpower. And we can only choose and pick if we have enough left over and left to save up to use. An example will be if you're tracking your meal plan, you will rather save all your calories towards the end of the day when you know that is when you want to feast, when you know that is when you want to eat. But most importantly, if you save your calories to the end of the night, then you have more room, more leeway for you to snack around and mess around before the day ends. Same thing with willpower, guys. If you just manage to save all your will towards the end of the day, or when you know you have the temptations or urges at its highest, then you have more mental discipline to fight them off. So that means in the mornings, you have to do things that is automatic already. You have to do things and make your environment so that you don't require too much mental discipline in the first place. You don't want to come into your office where there's a PlayStation and Nintendo Switch just sitting on your desk. You don't want to wake up in your bedroom with a TV on your wall and just trying to do some work. It just doesn't make sense, because then you're just in a constant battle fighting against your urges, and you don't need that. That's not necessary, guys. That's going to drain you. So really the best way to kind of save your willpower while still building bad habits is to eliminate anything that can trigger your willpower to be activated in the first place. You want to remove all the distractions. You want to remove all the cues and triggers that are going to trigger your urges and temptations very early on in the day. And if you can do that, then you are only left with your mind, right? Your mind and yourself. So that it is much easier for you to sit down, relax, and save your willpower. Because then visualization, positive self-talk may actually be useful. You can actually say to yourself that I am not going to fall back into my old routine. I am not going to play some video games, and that will be easier because you don't have any more triggers laying in front of you. You're not sitting in front of a TV with your controller on your hand saying that I am not going to play the next Fortnite match or something. I don't know what people play these days, but you know what I'm talking about, guys. Like, you don't want to be in an environment where you're constantly fighting this urge while saying to yourself or trying to beguile yourself that I am not this person while you're still doing it. And that actually can be counterproductive because you're going to give in, most likely, right? Positive self talk isn't going to work as well if you are in an environment where you're constantly distracted. So, removing the distractions, removing the urges and triggers in the first place will allow you to really make positivity and visualization very effective. Because that way you are left with yourself, and when you are by yourself, it is much easier to have a peace of mind. It is much easier to talk yourself out of bad habits if you have no outside influence. And this way is perhaps the first way you can save your mental discipline, your mental willpower towards the end of the day where you know temptations are at its highest, or perhaps in the midday where you know temptations are the highest. But the point is, guys, and will always be the point, if you constantly allow yourself to use willpower, then there will be times where temptation and urge is high and you will have none left to fight them off. And if you have none left to fight them off, you are going to give in. And when you give in, you're going to repeat this bad cycle of I'm not good enough, I don't have this skill set, maybe I am not the person who possesses the abilities to change. And once that happens, you are going to feed yourself this self-identity, remold yourself into this I am not good enough person. And guess what? It is going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy where eventually you will talk yourself enough, you will mold your identity to such a degree where you have no courage for change and you may even disdain change. And that will shape you into a person who will never, or perhaps never will, try to improve himself again. And you don't want to be that person, guys, because they deep down inside know they can be better, but because of their failures, because of what they said to themselves constantly, they have put themselves in this box where they have accepted defeat. And that is never a good feeling, guys. That being said, guys, today I'm gonna go shop, spend some time with the family, and most importantly, I will be going out with a friend because I need to definitely let out some steam. But before I do that, I need to get my haircut done because this shit is horrendous, guys. I'm growing out porcupine spikes on the side of my head, which definitely isn't ideal at all. But with that being said, I'm gonna go clean up and I'll see you guys in a bit when I come back, hopefully with some more things to share about. So, guys, it is currently 8 o'clock, and I am really, really happy to actually sit in my chair today because this is the first time I stepped into my office today for the whole day, which is absolutely insane, right? Obviously, coming back from the workout didn't really count because I didn't have the time to sit here and just do stuff. But even now, I only have just come here from a long day out. I went out first to buy groceries, got my hair cut done, which is absolutely amazing because now I'll look okay for the next week to get a job, etc. But also after that, my friend asked me to go out, so I did that, walked around, pretty much just talked, came back, and then had to spend some time with my sister because I said that is something I was going to do, just do random stuff with her, like play around and stuff. And that pretty much left me till now, 8 p.m. Finished some food, and I have yet to do my meditation. So tonight's dinner, it was very all over the place. I didn't have my normal rice, beans, and sardines, but rather I had cereal, and then a carrot, and then an apple, and then a just a lot of random stuff and milk. Oh, just yeah, it's totally weird. But that's the thing when you don't have clarity, is you start to make weird and dumb choices. But at the end of the day, guys, everything was in my calorie range. Therefore, I shouldn't be too surprised to see any dramatic changes in my weight because, well, I ate the same thing, but maybe I didn't eat as much. Therefore, I may lose some weight tomorrow, but that's only because I don't have so much food in me. That being said, guys, today has been a great rest day, but I do believe it has been way too long. So next time or next week, when I do have a day to prioritize my rest, I think I am definitely going to not make it so long because when
you rest for too long, it does become counterproductive, especially when you're out all day. Also, like that's not really resting your mind, but rather you're just distracting your mind doing something else. And if that distraction causes a lot of mental energy too, then you're not actually giving your mind a break. And today, it kind of does seem like that. So I'm really, really itching right now to get back into my work because I'm full of energy, just had food, and I have been so distant away from my work. So that is really all I kind of want to think about. So tonight, 8 p.m., I think what I'm going to do is just meditate, edit my videos, and then read a little bit of my book before I go to bed. Now, tomorrow being Sunday, you guys already know what time it is going to be. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to sit here first thing in the morning and work towards the afternoon because I have this sense of motivation just creeping back onto me. So super, super excited. But that being said, I am going to end the night here. And I do hope you guys had learned something from this today, even though I have barely talked today. But I do think I made a video before I left. So hope you guys have found this useful. But if not, like always, I'll always be here for you guys tomorrow. So don't worry. But until then, good night.